howdy.
We be live.
Let me throw up names on the screen just so we're showing who he is. Jason over here, Colton over there, and Jay down below. Jonathan says
Jason
he'll be
too,
joining us. Also, Jason. I like to go by Jace in my personal life, but Jonathan said he'll be with us. It's just that he's not feeling so hot, so he's going to be a bit late. We are back on Psalms. We're getting really close to the end. Right now, we see two people out there in live chat. So if anybody wants to say howdy in the chat,
Chatland.
Indeed. How you guys been this week?
I reckon I'm doing pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm just glad that I made it finally.
This is a mess. Yeah, welcome. Yeah. I don't know if people can see behind me. Finally, I put away some books. So I've got some things in order, which is nice. Which means that I came across, first of all, my volume on the Psalms that I talked about at the very beginning of the course. And I didn't have my hands on until today. So I actually can read from that. It's really nice. It's I don't know if you can see here. I'll make a big screen. Colton's got a copy of it too. But it's interlinear Hebrew and English with a bit of commentary from the Jewish interpreters at the bottom. So if anybody's interested, it's really a good volume to have. It is from ArtScroll, the ArtScroll series. You can see at the top. It's called Sefer Tehillim, and it says Simchat Yoshua. I'm reading backwards, but anyway, it says the Schottenstein edition here. So if anybody's interested, that's a great book to have. And you can pick it up at any of your wonderful booksellers. So we've got Muriel out there in Chatland. And hopefully some other people. We've got 4 viewers right now. Let's go ahead and get started. We're picking up in the final section of Psalm 119, which means we're going to be done with that psalm, something that I never figured we would ever do because it's very long. And we're also going to read, in addition to it, Psalm 129. So let's go ahead and remove that banner and get started with the reading. Right now we're 3. Hopefully some more people will join us to read. Before we start, these are our patrons. You can read over it and say thank you to them when you see them in chat or on the screen. Much appreciated. Kirkpatrick Jason, do you want me to put Jason? How do you want your name to show up?
Jay is good.
Like Jay. Okay. Current courses we're offering, of course, this Psalms reading group that we're doing. Then we've got Biblical Hebrew 101 using Shio's grammar. Where did I put it?
I will be able to get it this week, by the way. I'm going down to my dad's after Christmas, so I will be able to bring it back with me.
Excellent. We will be covering this week lesson 2 in the book. And next week, Jonathan will be teaching lesson 3. So we will see how everything goes, and that's how we're proceeding. The third hour is our readings with questions and answers in Hebrew with our Patreon users, the Patreon paid group. So here we go. That's Patreon content, and you can join us at patreon.com/thehebrewcafe. So schedule for right now, we're looking at today for the end of Psalm 119 and also Psalm 121. Next week, 136, then 146, then 150. And we need to decide what we're going to do next. I think we should go back to narrative. But we're looking at mid-January to start something new. Unless somebody wants to add one of the chapters from between now and 150 that we don't have the schedule. Okay. These are the verses we'll be covering. Notice the one that says 1. In the middle, that's the beginning of chapter 121, and it's divided the first line into 3 sections. Shir Ma'alot, and then the first line of the poem is divided into 2. But Shir Ma'alot is there stuck in the beginning, so I put it as 3 parts. All right. And also the last verse of this psalm that we're reading now is going to be divided into 2 lines as well. So it will be 2 reading portions. Okay. 169 is where we're starting, and who would like to begin our reading for this week? Either Colton or Jay. Jason.
I will.
Jonathan. Let's see. Psalm 119, 169.
Mm-hmm.
𝗥𝗘𝗦𝗡𝗥𝗡 𝗥𝗑𝗦𝗡𝗥 Adonai 𝗕𝗘𝗦𝗡𝗥𝗡. May my cry come before you, O Lord, according to your word. Give me understanding.
All right. So Rinati is the subject of Tikrav. Rina, it's another one of those words that means a cry, right? Could it be a cry for help, a cry of joy? Probably a cry of joy, because the word ron means joy. It's another one of the words for happiness. Right? Don't you agree, disagree? Because we got a lot of words for cries. Let my cry come before you, O Lord. Give me understanding according to your word. Right? So this is lehavin, right? Lehavin in a transitive sense. So we've had it several times in this song. Right? Make me understand. Give me understanding. All right. Colton 170.
Yeah. תבוא תחינתי לפניך, כאמרתך הצילני.
The stress on this word, though.
Hinati.
Techinati v'techinati.
Yeah.
תבוא תחינתי לפניך. What's this root here?
Hanan.
And what's that related to?
Grace, favor.
But often it's related to the idea of begging.
Okay.
Like litchanen in the Hitpael, litchanen means to beg.
Gotcha. So let my plea come before you.
Right. You're asking for something.
Right. According to your word, deliver me.
Deliver me, save me. It's from the root natsal, right? Latzil, save, deliver. Save me according to your word. All right, great. Next one. Let's see if anybody else has come up. It's just us. Tab'ana sfatai tila. I want to say tilatecha. I want to say your praise, but ki tilamedeni chukecha. Tabana, this is nice because it's, remember the feminine plural, the third feminine and the second feminine plural are the same, and they end normally in na. It's stressed before na in the future. So like tilmadna, lilmod, to learn, tilmadna, you will learn. This is the hifil of, it's the word lehabia. Lehabia. And lehabia comes from the root nun bet ayin. The kal novea means to proceed from something or to come out of it. Like especially like a word can novea, like novat, from some root or something. So we normally use lehabia as to express. You express your thoughts. In this, it's my lips expressing praise or pouring out praise. Like it's making it come out, right? So tabana sfatai, may my lips pour out or express praise, tehillah. This is from halal. Like hillel, lehalel, you praise, lehalel. Ki, for, tilamedeni, could take it as a future, could take it as a present. You teach me, you will teach me. It's the PL of lamad, lamed, lelamed, to teach. Chukecha, because you teach me your laws, your statutes. Let my lips pour out praise because you teach me your statutes. I feel the need to put a personal pronoun on that and say, Tabana sfatai tilatecha. My lips pour out your praise. but it's not written. It just says Tehillah. Right? All right, back to Mr. Kirkpatrick. Nobody's joined us.
Okay. 172. Ta'an lashoni imrataka kiko mitzotaka tzedek.
Mitzvot. Mitzvot.
Mitzvotaka.
Techa.
Okay. My tongue will sing of your word, for all of your commandments are right.
So you take ta'an. So in this case, it's it's a weird. There's a fourth. There are like four roots in Hebrew that use ana. Let's see. Hold on, I'm pulling up the chapter.
I was just going with the dictionary said.
Yeah, it's such a weird word. Like the. Let me pull it up. I'm sorry.
See, it says cow. It's to sing, to utter tunefully.
I'll pull it up on Halot. Oops, that's not how you do that. So you have to tell it to float. Sorry. Open and floating window. There we go. Notice that we've got the root for answering, right? Wow, so many. So root number 1 in the kal is to reply or to answer. Okay, and then they've got to respond to what was said. Root number 2 in the kal is to be wretched or emaciated, to cringe or crouch. In the nifal, to bend or submit, to become bowed or weak. Okay, the PL, to oppress, to humiliate. This is the root in the PL that's used for the Day of Atonement. Whoever does not oppress his soul, or what's the word? It means that you make yourself fast and you make yourself sad. Whoever doesn't do this to his soul on Yom Kippur will be cut off from his people. The pual is passive of piel also. So hifil lehanot, to humiliate. Hitpael, to be submitted or troubled. So the third root is with this the word to be troubled in the kal, hitpael. And then we have this fourth root, which is the one that we're actually dealing with. And it has it to sing in praise of someone. This specific instance, the ta'an looks, it's the kal. I don't think there would be a different form if it were PL. I think it would look the same, but it's to sing or to sing praise. Very fun that there are 4 roots of this ana. That's kind of annoying, but ana. 4 roots, and we're dealing with the 4th in hello. Great. Why do we read this as mitzvotecha instead of mitzvot?
Oh, because of the makef?
No.
No.
We're separating this off. Because of this. You can't open a syllable with a vowel, and if this were O, it would be opening a syllable because the shva closes this syllable. Meets O, this has to be vo. Meets vo techa. You understand why?
Yeah, yeah.
A principle of syllabification is that you cannot begin a syllable with a vowel. And we know that the silent shva ends a syllable, it breaks it. So it's meets. The syllable is broken, and the next syllable has to begin with a consonant. So it's a vav.
That makes a lot more sense.
Yeah. And this is also how we knew about that word that we were pronouncing wrong. This one here. That when it's pointed eg vo techa, we have to read this as vo because of the shva. Okay. All right. Next, Colton, number 173. How are we doing with the live chat out there? Do we have any questions, comments?
It's slow.
Yeah. Muriel is exactly right. That the normal translation of le'anot et nafshecha is afflict your soul. Like that's what you're told to do on Yom Kippur. Okay. 173.
𝗕𝗘𝗦𝗙𝗪𝗓𝗔 כי פיקו לעוזרני?
Le'ozreni.
Is that not what I said?
Why? You said le'azreni. Why is it O?
Because it's infinitive construct.
Because it's infinitive construct.
And I know that, and I thought I read it that way. I genuinely don't hear. It drives me nuts that I don't hear when I do that.
Okay.
But like I knew it, and I was like, all right. Anyway, 𝗕𝗘𝗦𝗙𝗪𝗔 𝗕𝗘𝗦𝗙𝗪𝗔 כי פיקודך בחרתי.
Well, technically, that's soft and that's soft.
פיקודך בחרתי. It's awful. Gross. Let your hand help me. Let it be a help. Give it to help me. For your for I have chosen your, what are these?
Enactments.
Yeah.
Your laws.
Yeah.
Precepts.
Precepts. There we go. That's the word.
Yeah. All right. So infinitive constructs will normally have an O somewhere, right? So if it's the normal infinitive construct, then it's la'zol, and the O is here, la'zol. But if it's with a suffix, then it's ozri, my helping. Like if I help somebody, ozri. And if he's helping me, ozreni. Ozreni. Very nice. Okay. 174. Ta'avti. Notice the feel of this word. It feels like ahavti. I think that's intentional. Ta'avti is like I long for, I want it. Ta'avti lishwacha Adonai v'toratcha sha'ashuai. So this is, I've longed for your deliverance, O God, Lord, and your law, your instruction is my delight. I've longed for your deliverance, your teaching, your law is my delight. Great. Makes sense. 175, Jason.
Okay. Tachi nafshi utalaleka umishpoteka.
So this is tihaleleka. Tihaleleka.
Utahaleleka.
Yeah, tihaleleka.
I said that like 40 times trying to figure it out earlier.
It's not a fun one.
Umishpoteka. Mishpoteka.
Mishpah.
Umishpoteka. Ya'az Runi.
There's a pointing difference. I don't know if you were reading the BHS. The BHS writes, because of the Leningrad Codex, it writes it differently. It's going to say like this, Ya'azzaruni. Ya'azzaruni. But the problem is that you can't have a vocal shva, which is a composite shva, in front of a vocal shva. Like, that's problematic. It should be silent. Ya'azzaruni. Ya'azzaruni. It's problematic because of how it's arranged, but you could either do that or you could close the syllable off and say Ya'azzaruni, which is also a possibility. But the BHS has this. Are you reading from BHS?
I've got the Open Hebrew Bible.
Does it have this mark here, like this one?
It has a patak.
It has a regular patach.
Hataf patak.
Patach. That's according to the WLC, the Westminster Leningrad Codex, which is the basis of the 𝗥𝗘𝗦𝗘𝗥𝗡𝗙 𝗥𝗘𝗦𝗧𝗏. So there is a difference, and I see James is here. Hello, Patty. We'll pull over the VHS real quick to show it. This is VHS.
Ooh, he's in trouble.
And it's got that right there. I don't like that pointing because of the presence of those two vowels together. But let's see what the remark says. So it says that according to Syriac, 𝗔𝗕𝗦𝗜𝗧𝗑, like he helps me instead of they, but still that doesn't change anything. Okay, cool. We will move on from that before I wax eloquent. Let my soul live. 𝗥𝗘𝗦𝗙𝗛𝗓. We didn't talk about what's going on with the verb, with the verse. What do you got going on?
Okay. Let my soul live and praise you. And may your precepts help me.
Your judgments. When we read this, like we read it as a plural, that's why it's mishpatecha instead of mishpatcha, because it's being matched by vowels to the fact that this is 𝗔𝗕𝗦𝗡𝗥𝗡𝗙, which is plural. We could read this simply as mishpatecha 𝗥𝗓𝗦, as a singular. 𝗥𝗓𝗦, let it help me. Let your judgment help me. But as it's written, it's plural. Without the vowel, without the yod. What's going on here? The feminine is why we've got, because nafshi is the subject, right? Like 𝗕𝗘𝗦𝗘𝗦. So the root is here, and this is feminine 𝗕𝗘𝗦. Why do we have the dagesh in the kaf? 𝗕𝗗𝗦𝗘𝗏.
Why is there a dagesh?
Couldn't it be without the dagesh? It could be. The dagesh represents the nun that goes before the suffix. Like we have 𝗥𝗚𝗦𝗡𝗏, ni. The ni is the object suffix, right? So what we've got here is we've got, instead of ni, we've got necha. And the nun is assimilating into the kaf and disappearing. 𝗕𝗗𝗦𝗘𝗏. Okay, the nun is assimilating, disappearing, and we say 𝗕𝗗𝗦𝗘𝗏. So the kaf is representing that nun that's been assimilated with the dagesh. Okay? There we go. Let my soul live, I may praise you, and let your ordinances or your judgments or whatever it be my help. Let them help me. Okay. We're on the last verse of Psalm 119. James with his nice little dog. If you want to read that for us.
Sure. 𝗙𝗘𝗦𝗘𝗥𝗡𝗦 בקש עבדיך.
Yeah, so this is the first half of the verse because it's divided into two stanzas.
Yeah.
All right.
So you want to just do this part? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I have wandered like a deer, perishing, like a perishing deer.
Is it a deer?
Oh, sorry. Like a lamb. Sorry. Yeah. So then we have the request, seek your servant.
I would say maybe this is lost, like a lost lamb. Notice this 𝗙𝗘𝗦 is from ta'a, meaning to wander, like you said. We also have the word ta'a with tet. And ta'a means to make a mistake. This is mistake. And this is wander. They really are very close. This is to err, to make a mistake, to err. Lit'ot. The noun form is ta'ot. Ta'ut is a mistake. Ta'ut. Very nice. Okay. The word we talked about a little bit ago, toiva, which is an abomination, right? Toiva. There was a guy in chat last week who was arguing about how we're supposed to understand it. That he wants it to be understood as toe, like you wander, ba, in it. Like when you do this thing, you wander. Like you make a mistake and you wander off. That's not where the word came from. This is folk etymology. But anyway. I wandered like a lost sheep. Seek your servant. Notice it is an imperative. James, why don't you take the last stanza, since it's a Uji verse and you just came in. There you go.
Yeah, so I actually read this as if it was like a bilateral. So that first part being like a support as well as the last key clause. So
yeah.
So
well, it's definitely one verse. It's just that
so
it's written on
seek
two
your
lines.
servant for essentially two reasons. One, because I'm like a lost or a lamb to a, that is lost, like you said, and the other because ki mispotecha, because your commandments lo shachachti, I have not forgotten.
Yeah, they tend to put on here like neglect or something. See, the GPS says neglect, but yeah, literally forgotten. They've gone out of my mind. All right, we are back to Jason, and this is probably my favorite psalm in the Bible. We are Psalm 121. For those who are reading along in their own texts, again, I recommend the text by 𝗏𝗏𝗏. But, here we go. This, first of all, has a song associated with it. People sing this, and it's really good in Hebrew. You want to go for it, Jason?
Sure. Let's see. Shir la ma'alot esa enai el haharim me'enai me'ayin yavo ezri.
So this is kind of like a title. That's why it's up there, but it's part of the psalm in Hebrew. Shir la ma'alot isn't exactly clear what it means, but we generally translate it as a song of ascents, because we understand that basically it's one of the songs that they would sing when they're going up to Jerusalem, to the temple.
That's the same word for steps, right? Ma'alot.
It is in the Bible. In the Bible, the word for steps are ma'alot. We use it today for degrees, like how hot is it? It's 20 degrees.
Oh, interesting.
And the word that we use for steps is from the word dareg. The dareg, it's hard to write this. The dareg is to rate. You rate something and it goes up and down, right? So we say madrega and madregot. Madregot. Madregot or stairs or steps. Yeah. But in the Bible, it was ma'alot for sure. Like if you would go up to offer your sacrifices, you would have to go up on the ma'alot. So yeah. And by the way, the word for elevator that we used today, just for anybody who wants to know, is ma'alit. Ma'alit is an elevator because it goes up. Allah. Okay. So what do we got here?
Let's see. My tablet's
So
off.
esa, what is esa? Esa. It's ensa. The noon is assimilated.
Oh yeah, Nisa to lift up. So I lift up my eyes
You lift up.
to the hills. From where does
mountains? Yeah. And what is this? Me'ayin?
Where? From where?
From where?
Does my help come?
Yeah, from where will come my help? And this is literally a question, right? I remember some translations that will say, I lift up my eyes to the hills from whence my help comes. As if it's telling you where the help comes from, but it's not. He says, I look up to the hills, to the mountains. Where will my help come from? He's looking up and he needs help, right? And he's saying, where will my help come from? All right. Song for the ascent. I lift up my eyes to the mountains. Whence will my help come? Where will it come from? From where will my help come? Good. Colton.
𝗔𝗕𝗦𝗡𝗥𝗡𝗚 𝗔𝗕𝗦𝗡𝗥𝗡 shamayim va'aretz.
Okay.
My help is from with the Lord, the one who makes heaven and earth.
Maker, right? Maker.
Yeah.
Another word that could be used here instead of oseh is koneh. Koneh shamayim va'aretz is a title that's often used of God as maker of heaven and earth. Be aware that the word Adonai is used by Jewish people when we're praying and when we are reciting scripture, like reading the Torah or something in front of a community, congregation. But normally, if you're reciting a verse and you're just quoting it, instead of saying Adonai, you say Hashem. Hashem. So Hashem is the name. It's like the name of God. So 𝗔𝗕𝗦𝗡𝗥𝗡𝗚 Hashem oseh shamayim va'aretz. This, when you listen to the recording, the song that people sing in Israel, that's really beautiful from this chapter. They say 𝗔𝗕𝗦𝗡𝗥𝗡𝗚 Hashem oseh shamayim va'aretz. So you should be aware, because I'm going to recommend a video that you should watch because it's really good for memorizing this passage.
I did.
My help is.
I saw you link that on Facebook. I listened to it.
Yeah, it's really nice. Really nice. All right. 𝗥𝗘𝗦𝗦𝗥𝗡𝗥, 𝗥𝗘𝗦𝗦𝗥𝗡𝗥, 𝗥𝗑𝗏𝗡𝗏 shomrecha. We're going to see a lot of combinations of the word lishmor, to keep, in this passage that are going to have O vowels written in different ways. So keep your eyes open for it in the chapter. Al is like lo, right? We normally say lo ta'aseh. This is not something we say to somebody. This is what we mean when we're giving legal commandment in the Bible. Lo tinaf, you shall not commit adultery. Lo tigno, you shall not steal. But if it's to a specific person, instead of saying lo ta'aseh, we say al ta'as. Al ta'as, do not do it. Do not do whatever it is. Al ta'aseh, al telech, do not go. Al telech. It's we don't have a direct negative commandment, right? We use the jussive. Al telech, do not go. So what we have here is a jussive in the third person. This is let him not allow. Latet can be to let or to allow. Latet, to give, natan. Let him not allow your foot to slip or to stumble or something like that. May he not allow your foot to stumble. Lanum. Today we make this into a longer form. We say lenamnem. Lenamnem is to take a nap or to rest, or, Al yanum shomrecha. The person who keeps you, the one who keeps you. Shomer, the one who keeps you. Let him not rest. So this isn't brought out in the translations, but these are jussives. These are not he doesn't, but let him not. Translations generally say he doesn't rest. He doesn't let your foot stumble. This is what he says. He will not allow. He will not allow technically would be lo yiten. But the al yiten is an emotive feeling. May he not allow it to happen. So may he not allow your foot to be moved. He who protects you will not slumber. May he not slumber. There's kind of a request in this, right? With Joseph. Do you guys agree with that assessment?
Yeah, I'm wondering if any English translations take it that way. I'm wondering why not. It seems to be pretty straightforward like that.
Yeah. That's how the Joseph's written. Al with the imperfect or the Joseph, right? All right. Looks to me like it should be that way. Anyway, now we have a statement. He says, may he not slumber. And then he says, behold, he does not slumber. This is the statement. Who wants to read this one? After me is James.
Hine lo Janus velo Yishon.
Lo yanum.
Lo Yanum, sorry. Velo Yishon.
Ishan.
Shomer Yisrael. So, behold, he does not slumber, and nor does he sleep. Who keeps Israel.
So we saw before Shomerecha in the previous verse, Shomerecha. Now we see the full Shomer Yisrael. Okay, Shomerecha, Shomer Yisrael, you, the one who keeps you, the keeper of Israel. Okay, great. Look, he will not slumber, he does not sleep. I remember hearing this as a song also. He will not slumber, he does not sleep. And at my right hand, you've heard this, yeah? He is ever watching over me. No? Okay. Verse 5, we're back to Jason.
Adonai Shomerka, Adonai Silka, Al-Yad Yaminika.
So we're back to this Shomerecha that we had before. Yaminecha, your right hand. All right. What's that mean?
The Lord is the one who keeps you. The Lord is
This is, yeah.
Oh, sorry, what?
You were about to say it.
Shade. The Lord is your shade on your right
shadow.
hand.
He's a shade or a shadow could be something that's protecting you from the heat, right? Right. The plural of this is, it's from Tzalal. Is there a plural? Tzlalim. Yeah. It's like tzadim. That's dadim. Dadim is sides.
Did I pronounce Silka right? With the
it's just the kaf is the kaf is cha.
Silka.
Yeah, I don't. So before he says, may the one who protects you not slumber, and now he spells it out. Hashem is the one who protects you. Right? He is the shadow at your right hand, meaning like he's on your side protecting you from the sun. They just go out and translate tzel as protection instead of shadow or shade. Right? Great. Colton, number 6.
Yomam hashemesh lo yakecha. Yakecha. Yeah. 𝗥𝗘𝗦𝗘𝗥.
What is elided in the second section?
Lo yakecha.
Yeah. So the sun won't strike you by day and the moon won't strike you by night. But lo yakecha is only in the first phrase.
Yep.
And yakecha is from
𝗥𝗘𝗦𝗘𝗥. Yeah.
I didn't. When I read through that, I did not catch that's what it was from. Hika.
So we would normally see this without the, like, it would be like this. So it's ୟାକେ, and then they add the nun that's assimilated into the kaf, right? And the a. Lo yakecha. Yomam and Laila.
Mm-hmm.
Yomam v'layla are often a pair. Yomam v'layla, by day and by night. Yomam v'layla.
It's a little mini chiasm, isn't it?
Yeah, it's nice. With the verb stuck in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
It's also my favorite part of the song, because it's where he raises his voice and becomes passionate. Yomam hashemesh lo yakeka v'yareach b'layla. Like, it's really a good part of the song.
You can see the justification of taking tzel as protection when you see striking terminology for the sun. Yeah,
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. And this plays into the textbook 𝗥𝗘𝗦𝗘𝗥𝗓𝗧, by the way, with 𝗥𝗘𝗦𝗧𝗧 in the field and the sun striking him, and he's crying out to Zeus.
Yeah.
Very nice. Notice that normally the word shemesh is feminine, but here the verb is masculine, and sometimes we see this in all languages that are gender indicative. So sometimes, like for example, in Spanish, we think of the word sea. This is the sea. We say el mar. But if you go back in Spanish literature, you will find la mar instead of el mar. It happens in all gendered languages. I don't know why, but they change gender by different times. It's really, it doesn't matter if the sun is masculine or feminine, right? So sometimes it pops up as masculine, but most of the time it's feminine. Wow, I'm speaking so monotonous today. I don't feel like I have any passion. I'm very sorry. This is my favorite psalm. I really should be more animated, but I'm afraid of making noise for my roommate. Yomam hashemesh lo yakeka v'yareach b'layla. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All right, next. Adonai yishmor. Notice the O. Adonai yishmorcha mikol ra. Yishmor et nafshecha. So this is what we would expect. Yishmor, he will keep. But when you add the cha on there, for you, we can't say yishmorcha because that's a closed syllable and the vowel wants to go short. So that's what happens. Yishmorcha. God will keep you. The Lord will keep you from all evil, or he'll protect you from all evil. He will keep your life, your soul. He will protect your life. Right? Good. Back to James down at the bottom, verse 8.
Okay.
I think this is the end of the chapter. It is. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Adonai yishmor tzetecha uvoecha me'ata ve'ad olam. So
Elena, I just now saw you sitting there. I'm sorry. I didn't see you. I've got the PowerPoint pulled up. Me'ata ve'ad olam.
So he will keep your going and your coming.
You're going out.
Yeah, going out and coming. And
so it's the opposite, coming in. Lavo is often used for entering in biblical Hebrew, especially lavo, to enter.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. From
now until forever.
Yeah.
Evermore, maybe from now and forevermore.
Yeah. The Lord will protect. So Yishmor, the reason we have this one is because of the Makah, right? He will keep your going out and your coming in from now until forever. How are we doing on time? I haven't looked even once. We still have 15 minutes. Wow, that was quick. So how about we talk a little bit about our direction and what we want to do since we are done with this segment of the Psalms. Hi, Elena. I think, I mentioned
Shalom lekulam.
Shalom lach. I mentioned that we have, these chapters that I had planned to read together. I don't know if we want to look through real quick. We can see if there's something else we want to add to reading schedule. I'll put that back up so we can look at it right there. That's what I had planned on. We finished just now 121. We were at 136 and 146, and then 150. So is there something else that strikes your fancy that you'd like to add? We should keep it around 8 to 10 verses. So it's, or no, about 20. That's what we've been handling. Is there 16 is what we've been doing. I'm looking at this one. So if we're looking at let's see if anything between 121 and 136 that you would be interested in. Samachti ba'omrim li beit Adonai nelech. That's a common verse. I rejoiced with those who said to me, "Let us go to the house of the Lord." Is there anything like? Do you guys read a lot of Psalms, or do you want to just read it according to the schedule and be done with Psalms and go into narrative?
What are we doing after Psalms?
Not sure. We're going to open up a narrative somewhere. We did Joshua, not all of it, but we did 10 chapters of Joshua, and we'll just start a narrative and we'll read as far as we want to during our sitting, and then pick it up at the same place where we stop the next week. Do you have any suggestions for the narrative that you're interested in? We were thinking, I think, 1 Samuel.
I'm good with that.
Sure.
I love the Psalms, though, but I know you've been in them for a while.
Yeah, we started in June. Elena is asking, if you're on camera, you can just ask straightforward, what's your dog's name?
This is Joy. Simcha.
Simcha.
No, it's Joy. It's Joy.
So beautiful.
Thank you.
So let's plan just to finish out the reading schedule as is, and then we'll start like 1 Samuel, unless we have anybody opposing to it. I think it would be good to get into narrative again, just because it will give us a flow. Because the thing with Psalms is that it's very cut off, like one from the next, So you don't feel like the text is moving. Great. Okay, so next hour we're doing the second lesson in Shio's book. For those who are interested, this one, which covers all the rest of transliteration. We're going to be done with that nonsense. We're going to look at syllables, breaking up syllables, and talking about basically how do we recognize when a kamatz is kamatz katan, or when it's long kamatz. We're going to go over what you need to know about pronouncing words, basically, and get where we can with that. It's really difficult for me to start in the beginning of a Hebrew grammar because you have to be able to feel what's going on with the audience, and it's hard to do whenever you're talking to a camera. There's basic stuff. If somebody misses something that's key, then it could mess them up for the rest of their study.
The Kamat Hatuf is my one qualm with the Masoretes. I think, how hard would it have been to put another little something there? Just why? All the dots and lines they can come up with, they couldn't do one little symbol to make it distinct.
Well, again, because they pronounced it the same, so they didn't think it was a big deal. In a lot of prayer books, since I got much of my library out, these are prayer books. In Judaism, we have our prayers like written for us. We don't make them up. But in a lot of prayer books, this is called a siddur. Otherwise, the siddur Kohen. Kohen is a family that puts together religious books and publishes them. Anyway, in a lot of prayer books, if it's a kamatz hatuf or the kamatz katan, they will put the kamatz and they will circle it. And the circle indicates that it's to be read as O. I'm not saying that that's the way it is in this siddur, but a lot of them do that.
Yeah, and
and some of them, sometimes in a tikkun tikkun, it will extend the kamatz chatuf down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the software that I use for singing trope, they make the 𝗥𝗦𝗧𝗡 bigger so that it's distinctive.
Yeah, they extend it down.
They just enlarge the whole font of it, I guess. It just looks
really
popped out of the. Yeah, it's bigger, much bigger.
Mm-hmm. Of course, the Tikkun Kolim doesn't have the Psalms, so I can't look at what we're reading today. But I wonder where the first kamatz chatuf is in the Bible. If we could see how they do it in this one, I'm not sure. I don't know where the first one is that I could actually just look at it and know. I don't know, but if like the word 𝗪𝗦𝗧𝗔𝗧, they want to make sure that you put the stress on the penultimate syllable, so they make the whole bet really big. 𝗪𝗧𝗪, so you don't accidentally say 𝗪𝗧𝗪.
Oh, that reminds me. Trope Trainer also distinguishes vocal schwas by enlarging them as well. So it just makes it easier to read in general.
Well, I'm not sure how they treat it here, but anyway, this is Tikkun Kolim. It has 2 columns on each page. One column has all of the points of the Bible. The second column looks just like a Torah scroll with no pointing or any marks at all, except for the letters. So this is a book for practicing to read Torah in public reading. Really a nice book. There are lots of editions of it. I used to have a really big one from the Art Scrolls series, and it was beautiful and large and green. I love green. But this one I just picked up whenever I moved here because it was cheaper and simple. Art Scrolls can be expensive. Yes. Anyway, that's all that I have to share today, really. So what do you guys want to say?
I know that in many books, when they discuss those nikud signs, they also give the schedule, like about of the like triangle of the vowels, and they say that it used to be a division in the vowels, not by the length of the vowel, but by the openness of the mouth. You know, how wide it was open. That's why when it is, you know, that's why maybe this kamatz thing, because they were exactly open the same way, right? You know, like something between and o, and they will pronounce the same. Would it be this? Did you?
Well, it's a sound that we don't make in American English. It's like the British English. When they, instead of saying all, like I say, all of you, they say all of you, all. It's this different all sound that we don't make in American English. That would represent, it would be pronounced that way in both situations in the Masoretic tradition. That's what I understand.
Oh,
it's not how we do it in Israel.
So they would be all, both of them.
Yeah, all. Yeah, but not a pure O, but all.
Yeah. All.
Yeah. Anyway, let us say goodbye for now, and we will pick up with Psalm, 136 for next week. And right now we're going to head over to start our basic Hebrew grammar again on lesson 2, which is our 3rd session of the thing. I want to put up here a new thing that they just added onto StreamYard, and that is like a goodbye thing. It's like saying thank you. So, guys, we'll see you in a few minutes on the next stream.
Okay. See you.
See? Toda rabba. Yeah. See you later. Bye-bye.